Hello.
Hello and welcome. We are on live
Oh, there's Jane.
and they're awesome.
Oh, okay, perfect. Here.
Okay, so we just need to adjust our camera slightly so that we're both in the screen. But we're so excited to have world renowned international speaker, guru of many, many things, not just was he claims as a love guru. So much of a guru in so many ways. This is James McNeil. We're so happy to have him today. As you're all coming on, we're going to give you a formal introduction and then you can take over. We're going to ask you a few questions, but we're so excited to hear about the live event you're holding this weekend on the 28th and 29th of November. And this is why we're here. We're talking about that today. And so, yes. So James, we know James from having met through one of the events that he was speaking at and just kind of just clicked with him in terms of being able to just, he gets us. He knows what we're after in terms of spiritual enlightenment. And it's not a religious thing. It's a personal journey to understanding how our mindset works and how we can play with the universe and be joyful and in love and peace and joy to be able to live the best life that we can possibly live. So thank you so much for joining us. And what else would everyone like to know about James? James has been through many, many struggles in his life, and we are just like absolutely impressed by your story, how you moved from someone who wasn't even able to read and write by the age of 21, and now you speak on the stages with Les Brown, Tony Robbins, like everyone possible, any of the big names. And how did you do that?
Wow, that you know what? That's funny. It's like asking me, how did your miracles happen? I'm like, I don't know. That's why we call them miracles. Exactly. I do come from a troubled childhood. It's true. Family challenges. We were posing as lower middle class, but we weren't quite there. I was the brokest person in a moderate community, but that wasn't really the challenge. My father was a law enforcement officer, and he struggled with PTSD and substance abuse. He had a violent temper, and I have ADHD, and it wasn't a good mix. I couldn't speak sentences till I was 9. I couldn't read till I was 21. I have no college or university degrees. And yet I've been blessed with the most outrageous career. I get to circle the globe, sharing the stages with the coolest people, hang out with them in the green room. Can you imagine hanging out with Sir Richard Branson, just chilling, and just, like being blessed with, Rudy Giuliani's in the news right now, because of the Donald Trump thing. But I hung out with him backstage, and we shared the stages together. So all of these incredible, unique individuals who have found power, fame, and fortune, movie stars and celebrities, and there I am, right? I'm like, how did I get here? But what it was when I was around 20, I was spiraling down in a suicidal depression. I was near homeless in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I was in big trouble. And I'm from Toronto, Canada, but I was near death, and then a spiritual awakening happened. And it took me 30 years to figure out how to explain what happened. And then all of a sudden, I became the flavor of the month, and life starts to work, and people start loving me, and things start going my way. And I would say I was praying and getting miracles, but other people would say I was manifesting. And so your terminology is we're all cool with that. But it was just one thing after another, Elke. It's like, how did I get here? I know one step at a time, one miracle at a time. But what I kept doing is leaning into it, leaning in and saying, I want to be the best version of myself I can be. I want to touch the planet, and I want to pass on whatever I know. And it's one of those interesting things that the more you give away of what you know or what you have, the more your hoppers are filled, so that you can be more of a giveaway. And if there is a love energy that oversees the universe, that love energy is love, which means whoever is blessing the planet the most gets blessed the most, so that we can just be a beautiful flow through. Maybe I went on a bit long, but that's the best I can explain. I just just kept on signing up for more, and here we are.
Well, but that's the whole point of this weekend coming up, is you're finally crystallizing that into a course. And also, just your own example of your life and how you have gone from something that one would have never expected you to achieve what you've gone through and what you've done in your life, even to date, let alone that you're not done yet either.
No.
That the principles you're teaching are what you have discovered over your lifetime as to what works for you and how you've gotten there. And whether it's being a speaker or like, because you've also done a whole bunch of other things that are really cool and interesting, right? You've helped really big organizations become much more successful and more profitable. You've also worked with what's the organization? I want to get it right, but who, like the peacekeeping organization.
Well, that one, we only went so far with that one. I have been a trainer for international law enforcement agencies to train them with verbal Aikido to de-escalate high tense situations, which has saved countless lives globally. I've been asked to become one of those peacekeepers that sits in those like meetings with the UN, those peace talks, international peace talks. That hasn't actually happened yet, but I'm like I'm one of those people they're looking at as the next person, because it's a very unique skill set with a lot of what I would call pressure. You know, it's like, ugh, I don't want to blow it. I don't want to pick a fight with someone who's got a button on their desk. You know, But to be asked, to be even considered to be one of the people in those rooms that can change world history, that's just overwhelming to me. And then silly things, right? Like I'm an international recording artist. I was a karaoke goof. And then one thing leads to another. I've asked to sing this song while in Mexico, and poof, I'm in the radio, and they want me to go on tour. They want me to do my own album. I'm like, no, I'm not really a singer. So who knows, you know, what your future holds as you're watching this, you know? You want inspiration, you want miraculous inspiration and timing, just synchronistic, meeting the right person, having the right, you know, you turn left instead of right, you turn quote unquote the wrong way, but then you meet the dream person, or all of a sudden, you know, you're discovered. We don't know what is sitting there waiting for us to allow it. And that's what's so different about this philosophy. It's not you manipulating the universe to comply with your wishes. It's you allowing the miraculous flow that's already on deck, awaiting your permission. And that's what people love about the philosophy I'm able to share, is that, wow, this is easy and fun.
Yeah, exactly. Let it happen. Just to be open to it. And we have to understand how to be open to it.
Yeah.
To be able to really accept what's going on. As you said, not have it in our heads that we have a plan and it's got to be this way. Just we have a plan in terms of a destination, maybe, even though maybe that's not even the complete destination, but at least we're open to how to get there, and maybe some really cool things will happen along the way.
Yeah.
We have a whole bunch of creatives on board. So anyone from like a photographer to an artist to maybe some musicians, but mainly more so in regards to people who are very creative, and they can have a lot of skill sets, right? It doesn't have to be one aspect or another. So we are very passionate and also very much empathetic to what's going on in the world. And so we're much more mindful of our mindset. So this fits really perfectly in with our group. So how can you bring that, like, give us some more information about what this 2 days is all about in terms of how we as creatives can really benefit from that?
Thank you. Yes. For you, those of you who are open to being a creative, right? Some people would call themselves a creative, and some people may not have allowed themselves to have the moniker yet. But if you're open to it, the primary purpose of power is creation and compassion. Okay, creation and compassion, not control and consumption. When exercised appropriately, power always grows. And so if you want to be an influencer, someone who has a message, who can touch a heart, touch a soul, if you have a story, if you have a message, whether you create clothing or music or art, however you want to be a flow through of the love energy of the universe to touch the planet, I want you to know you're on track. You're here on purpose with a reason for this season. And this is a season when we need our creatives to allow their emotional sensitivities, their dialing in. You know, you have a big antenna probably, right? And there's so much negative energy going on right now that you can get dialed into that and be a part of that cycle, or you can be a part of the love energy cycle of a solution, of healing, of restoration, reconciliation, hope, love, joy, peace, purpose, prosperity. And you can be vibing that energy, and then all of a sudden you have a big hit. And I want to encourage you. I'll be training you. Join me this weekend. It's the 12 levels of spiritual intelligence, which as we go higher and higher and higher, you realize that you could just be a flow through with perfect timing. Most artists will say they play and play and play and boom, they get a hit. And the hit is often not the one they thought. It's like, everyone loves that. I'm like, I kind of didn't like that song. You know, writers will say, oh, I happen to have it right here. As a Man Thinketh, you can see mine is beaten up and I have to staple it and glue it together. But this little book by James Allen, he hated it. He hated it. This is one of the best-selling books of all time. But he hated it. He was like, I write these giant thesis and nobody reads them. I write this little thing like on the back of a napkin. Like I didn't think much of it. And this is one that changes the world. So sometimes you don't know what is the most magical, miraculous, magnificent work of yours. You just keep playing, do more, sweat less, and just live in that vibe and allow. This is one of the things I got to say to creatives. So many of the heart-based people, spirit-based people are not comfortable with the full energetic flow. I'm not sure where you're at on the wealth, but you're wealthy by nature. When you sow greatly the seeds of love and joy and creativity, you're supposed to be reaping the harvest. And if you haven't fully unlocked that vault, you're going to learn the 7 steps of wealthy by nature to unlock that process. And for the creatives, that's one of the things, Elke, you've probably seen is a lot of people see themselves as the suffering creative, the suffering artist. Stop your suffering. That doesn't help us. Allow yourself to be as much blessed as you are a blessing.
Yeah, and that goes also, like, that speaks to the craft, but it also speaks to the worth of someone. And as creatives, we always get told we're not able to make money being creative, and so we're on a mission to tell people that that's not true. And so yours teaching comes in really like it just marries so nicely, because what's happening is you're actually it has nothing to do with whether you're an artist or not. It has to do with your own self-worth. And then you can be an artist of some way, like whether you're creative musically or like graphically or whatever. And it also ties into the fact that the idea here is to do what you love.
Yes.
And so that you can bring that, because that's what you're here for, right? And why is someone telling you that you can't make money and have a living, and also be joyful and live in that presence because you're an artist of some sort, creative? And so what I think is really cool about what you're teaching is it allows you to deal with what you have created as your own story, and then you can understand that there's more to it, and the story is based on a lot of ego, right?
Yeah.
And even in my book, it was like, let go of your ego.
Yes.
But it takes a while to understand what that means, and ego has a definition. Do you want to talk about that, or do you have to save that for Saturday and Sunday?
No, I always give everything I can in the time allotted, so you don't have to worry about whether I never want to hold anything back. That's a problem, maybe. But I want you to know that, first of all, your story is part of your mission. What I mean by that is, up until now, you may have felt like, oh, that sucks, or that was unfair, that was unjust. I'm quote unquote a victim of this or a victim of that. And I want you to know that nothing has happened that you and Source Love haven't approved or created. And you are not, in fact, a victim. You are, in fact, a leader to change the planet. And all of those circumstances, situations, and frustrations had to be there to make you the sensitive soul that can touch this planet. And only you can touch the people that you can touch. I can't touch the people that you're here to touch. You can't touch the people I'm here to touch. I went through my quote unquote training called my suffering, my strategy, my difficulties, to give me the sensitivity, the empathy, the path from the darkness to the light. That's the path that I know. That'll help the people that I'm called to help. So everything that's gone on in your journey is perfect. And this moment right here that we're talking might be that divine appointment where you're supposed to turn the tide now. All of that was just your before picture, and it's time for your after picture. It's fine. I tell the fitness people, they say, how you doing? I say, I'm still working on my before picture. They don't think that's funny, but I want you to think of whatever it is. It won't be. Someday you'll say, thank you that happened. If not yet, someday. And so you've been made into something special, and now it's time to unlock that. And when it comes to the ego, let me just say the ego is not it's not a spiritual energy like a demon or something. It's nothing like that. It's just an idea. It's just a thought. And it's something that we all universally experience. And it's also technically accurately defined as a pathological mental illness that we all have. We have this little pathological mental illness. It was the answer to the question, who am I? You might want to remember that. When you were around 2, something happened. That's why we call them the terrible 2s or the terrific 2s. Around the age of 2, you realize there's people on this planet who are in control, and I'm not one of them. Who am I? What is my role? How do I start? And you start bossing around the pets and the dolls and your parents.
No.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, all of a sudden you hear, not Elke, you get this. Poor Jen, you'll have to wait for this one. But Elke, you remember when Jen would say something, and you're like, not only is that my voice, it's my mother's voice. And we start to, those are voices that I heard, and now I pass them on, and they're coming out. It's like, it's generational. Yeah. And so we pass these things on because the small child is trying to figure out how they can control this world. Yeah. Well, we weren't meant to be in control. We were meant to be in flow. And so when you decided, I want to control things just like them, we moved into a judgment mindset. We moved into I am, and we attached an identity that instead of a peaceful knowing who we are, we had to have an answer. Mm-hmm. And your ego is not your amigo. It was born in a state of desperation and separation from source energy, source love, God, if you will. And in that state, we had to create this identity for our psyche to survive in that state of separation. So if you ever wonder as you're watching this, why do I do those dumb things I do sometimes? Why do I go out with the wrong guy or the wrong girl? Why do I do this? Why do I keep trusting the wrong people? Why do I keep blowing my money? Why do I keep eating the potato chips instead of the broccoli? Whatever those things are. I want you to know, that that's your ego, and your ego is not your amigo. Your ego is your enemy, and it is perpetuating separation and desperation. And so in this weekend, you will know who you are, and you're going to be very happy to find out the truth. The ego identity is not the truth. It's a lesser truth. There's nothing, if you believe there's anything truly negative about yourself, it's either not true or not negative. And you're about to find the truth about just how magnificent you are. And then you're going to be free to just be you. Mm-hmm. And everyone wants to be themselves. It's just this ego keeps telling you who you are, and it's just not true. And so when we get past that, we realize, wait, everything has been a setup for a get up. Everything has been a setup for me to bless the planet. I'm not here to take care of me. People think they're supposed to tiptoe safely to death. No, you're supposed to laugh and play and serve, make this world a better place. And this weekend, you're going to figure out who you really are, and you're going to get really excited about that. And then let that off the chain and watch what happens.
Well, we're excited. We've actually done your weekend live already once before, and we know it's going to be just as amazing on Zoom. And so, yeah, we're looking forward to getting it again, because I think every time you learn, like you do it, you learn something new.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify, this is a non-denominational approach, right? And so this is really important because we have people all over the world who watch us and different religions and whatnot, or non-religions or whatever. Yeah. And so anyone can benefit from this, just so everyone knows. Do you want to speak to that in any other way?
I do. It was actually what took me 30 years. Explaining some of the secrets of the spirit world was easier than how to explain them in such a way that you're not stepping on anyone's toes. So I spent the 30 years was not finding the secrets as much as it was how to say them in a way that doesn't tick anybody off. So in my inner circle of clients, we have very happy Muslim, Buddhist, atheist, agnostic, we got witches, we got Hindus, we got Sikh, we got Catholics and Baptists and Pentecostals, and you name it. Like we're all big in it. And the reason is we just focus on the love energy, and we respect everyone's spiritual journey. So this is rated RR, or religiously respectful, and that's a primary issue for me, that everyone in my world feels safe, feels respected, feels loved, feels treasured, and we create a safe playground for you to investigate your own journey. And when you understand the universally love-based principles of the spiritual world, your own faith journey, whatever that is, atheist or Baptist or Buddhist or Hindu, whatever, wherever you're coming from, you will understand your own journey at a deeper level, because it unlocks without the traditions that have been attached to the different faith groups. And so you'll be free to understand it, and 100%, whatever your faith journey is, it will be honored, respected, and not challenged. That's very important to me.
Yeah, no, and we've totally got that when we were taking the course the last time, or the program. What do you call it actually? It's an experience, but
it's an experience, yeah. Because what I found when I was going through this journey is I wanted to go through the journey again. I want to do we have a product called the 30-day Miracle Challenge. It's a 30-day fast track boot camp to spirituality. And I do it every month. Why? Because no man steps in the same river twice, for both the man and the river have changed. And so it's an experience. It's not a course.
I like that.
You pass.
That's a cool. No person though. We want person.
Yes. No, the original quote was that. So I apologize. Yeah.
Well,
we're updating.
I wanted to say too, the first time that I came and I did the experience with James, I was in a different mindset, in a different state than I am now. And so to have that experience and like that transformation, it really spoke to me on certain levels based on what I was going through at that moment. Yeah. And then now I'm really looking forward to it, because I can now see it with different eyes and like listen and absorb in a different way, even though the way that I had that experience previously was so helpful and it helped me get to the next stage. So
yeah, I celebrate that. I've watched just the light in your eyes. You know, there was a coming back phase, right? I want to come back to full life. I want to come back. And now from here, it's like, ooh, now let's see what I can do. And then the excitement is really there. It's not for health. It's for the next level, you know? And so many people will come in, they'll say, I'm here. Is this okay for me? Yeah, you're going to get here, from here. And sometimes you go from here straight to here, but no matter where you're at, you'll be picking up what I'm putting down. You're going to have a ton of fun. You're going to meet the coolest people on the planet, and you're going to unlock some things. Now, what you might do in this first experience is unlock locks number 1, 12, 7, and 6. And the next time you're going to be unlocking the others, and the next time another thing. But as you grow, the questions grow. As you continue to expand your capacity to serve on this planet, you're going to have new challenges and new opportunities for explosive growth. And so I would suggest you not only plan on joining us this weekend, plan on joining us every time we do it, because it's a new you. It's a new experience. I can't teach the same stuff twice. It's like is it the Jeff Daniels band? Which is there's a rock band that never plays the same song twice.
I think you're right with that. But what I want to say too is that there's different levels, right? So first of all, this weekend, then there's the 30-day, and then tell us some more about some of the other things, because like you said, then you start to want to know more. You want to develop more. You have more questions as you get higher up. So speak to that, because I know you're going to there's more to it than just this. It's an introduction.
Yes, yeah. And the Dream Life experience is the primary onboarding, right, for people to get in, because it's a comprehensive, it's the biggest teaching I do on the metaphysical success philosophy called pure spiritual intelligence. So this is not a data dump, but there's a lot of insights. You're going to go, no way, that's how it works. Oh, and you're going to have a lot of, oh, somehow I knew that resonates with me. There's going to be a lot of unlocking of knowledge, of knowing. And then there's a product or a process called the 30-day Miracle Challenge. It's like an intensive spiritual boot camp where you will develop the spiritual disciplines that you could talk to monks who have been working for 30 years. It took them 30 years to develop all these disciplines, only because they weren't choreographed into one very highly disciplined and accountability process. So you can create the disciplines of someone who's worked on this for 30 years in 30 days, develop the disciplines.
Yeah, so and we've done that, and it's awesome. So
thank you. So there's
and then after that?
Then there's a community, because as you journey, you're going to want to, sometimes people say, James, I've learned stuff from you, so thank you, but I learn more talking to the people who are on the journey with me, like just someone who's at my level, because their sensitivities to what I'm dealing with are more dialed in than yours, James. You're somewhere else at this moment, but that person is learning it for the first time, so they're freaking out just like me, or they're excited just like me. Yeah. And so it's in community, and we're community species. We're made for community. And so there's the there's the knowledge, the dream life experience. 30-day miracle challenge, develop spiritual disciplines for life and unlock miracles within the first week, guaranteed. It's just going to happen. Then there's a community. Go into a community and be in a group call with me every single week. Every question that comes up, everything you're dealing with, everything you're journeying through, and you're doing it in community. We have a global community, and it's just an incredibly safe, beautiful, supportive, encouraging community.
Then really well, because that's what we do too with our training. The community part, like as much as the knowledge is there, we need to talk about it and figure it out. Did you figure that out too? And how did you react to that? It's like, I reacted the same way. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So,
yeah, we're always learning, and then new challenges come up because of the community, right? New questions, new people come up with questions like, wow, okay, give me a minute, and we learn together. Yeah. Then if you want to have a completely life transforming, one time, just align yourself with your perfect dream life experience, like super intense, beautiful, it's the retreat. The Dream Life Retreat is the most life transforming experience I've ever created or been a part of. We go to a 5-star tropical resort, ultra VIP. And instead of doing it a couple hours a day or once a week or what, we simply say to the world, thanks for sharing. We're out for a week, and we are going to experience a carefully, spiritually, safely choreographed week of personal transformation. What comes out of that week, I've never seen anything like it. And so that's really a good cross section of the opportunities to transform one's life.
That's very cool. Very cool. Yeah. So you've got more if people want more. That's good. Yeah. So, and what can they get out of this weekend if they come?
This weekend, thank you, Elke. I love your questions. This weekend, you're going to have
to me. I don't know. I'm just obviously a skilled interviewer.
You are the 12 levels of spiritual intelligence. What that means is you're going to have more than a glimpse, but less than a mastery, but more than a glimpse to comprehend the 12 levels of spiritual intelligence. You'll find an alignment with every faith journey. You'll find an alignment with philosophy, theology. You're going to get a metaphysical view. So very quickly, physics is the study of time, space, and matter, a science. Quantum physics is the curious study of time, space, and matter at the subatomic level, which is a magnificent mystery that even the top quantum physicists will often say, yeah, we don't know. So that's a really cool world. My playground is the metaphysics, which is that which transcends time, space, and matter. So it's that which exists inside of time, space, and matter, but is not limited to the playground called this universe. And so that's my playground. But what we're finding is the metaphysicists and the quantum physicists are realizing we're singing from the same song sheet. It's just we got there from different directions. Yeah. And so you will understand quantum physics, metaphysics, as it relates to your best possible life. 12 levels of understanding the secrets behind the curtain. And so that's what this weekend is about, and you will understand it at the level that you're ready for this weekend. Yeah. And it's not that the understanding will be held back from you. It's how much can you rewrite some wrong stuff that's been sold to you and free yourself from the bondage of lesser ideas. And so that you're going to go as far as you're willing to go in one weekend in understanding the 12 levels of spiritual intelligence.
Well, what I liked about when we did it in person was that, like, I know James just said a lot of physics. And I was going like, so we're gone. It's gone over my head. And it's like, yeah, Elke's the scientist. She gets it, but no one else. And it's like, okay, James and Elke are just having like a really great conversation here. Really, it's not about physics per se. It's about, those are just the words that describe what really is happening in terms of being able to tap into it. We have to talk and say certain words in order to, speak the language. But really, there's more to it. And I liked that you did all these exercises and that we did like group things. Are you going to do that on Zoom too?
As much as we can. Like, I would love to get people into huddle groups and so on. Technology will allow us to do some cool things. I'll do as much as I can in that to create an experience. Yeah. And we'll see. I mean, it's my first time doing it, but we're going to do as much as we can.
But what I liked is you you got it to a point where even though we're talking tech stuff in terms of words, it was clear in terms of understanding how it could relate to me, for example, and John as well, right? And so that was the really important part for me, is to take these really complex ideas and so basically say them in a way that all of a sudden it's like, I get this.
Thank you. Well, that's my job, right? My job is to take the almost impossibly complex philosophies out there and merge them together in a way that we go, well, yeah. like I want people to go, well, yeah. But and I like it when I teach stuff that's like just mind bending, and someone's like, well, that's obvious. I knew that. I'm like, who knew that? Come on. But my job is to make it so simple that it's almost in danger of being overlooked. But that's my job. My job is to make it, yes, of course. Like, I want you to land on that. Well, yes, of course. But then once you chew on it, you say, well, then why am I not living like that? You don't know a thing until you experience a permanent change in your behavior and results. And if you're not living the miraculous, you don't got it yet, because miraculous is the new norm. Einstein said either everything's a miracle or nothing's a miracle, and we want to unlock your everything's a miracle experience.
Which is what we are all striving for, right? So anything that we can get to help us and to repeat it and get it over and over again, because even though we took this, about a year ago?
Yeah.
We learned from that. We've implemented certain things, other things we've sort of tailored back to. Instead of picking broccoli, we picked chips. And so we need a refresher, if for anyone who's even done any spiritual or like inner work, let's call it, that they've done with even anyone else. This is really cool, because you've also learned from so many of the greats. Like you can talk about, like, you've actually met all the greats, you've studied all the greats, you've spoken with them on international stages. So now what I liked is you brought a whole bunch of stuff together. So it's almost as like you've done the work for us, plus you've added your own really important added aspect to it in terms of how to make it work, in addition to what everyone else is saying that's a piece of something.
Well, I also want to jump in too and say, when I went to the live experience in person, I was not really in the greatest spot. I was very depressed. I had just broken up with one of my partner for over 10 years. And so I was not in a good spot. And I'm just reading a comment right now that says, this is going to be a really great exercise or experience for people, especially during COVID. I wanted to touch on the point that we're talking about miracles and happy things and grabbing your best life, but there are people who just can't see that happening because they're not at the right headspace. And from my own experience, when I was with James in person, I was like, miracles were out of my realm. I was not happy. It was very sad. But the way that James expresses things and teaches you, your eyes become open to certain possibilities that you didn't even really think were possible in your life, or that you were even
worthy to even have,
or that you were even able to understand or comprehend. And so from my own experience, and probably many other people who are watching live now, if you're in a depressive state, or if you're in a sad state, or it's a really crappy season, there are certain things that you might not even comprehend, because it's just not possible for you. But because of the way that James thought, his whole, well, first of all, you're an amazing person, super happy, you're always smiling, but the way that you speak and you translate the information, that like those touch points that people really need to understand, is in a really great way. Like, and
even if you don't understand them right then and there, all of a sudden, a little bit later, you got it anyway, even if you're not getting it right then and there. It sort of filters into your being afterward, like a little bit by little bit, and you make the shift even subconsciously in some cases.
Well, it said in a different way, spiritual truths will not return void, which means if you're in the presence of someone sending you loving truth, universal, loving, genuine, no one's going to argue with it, truth, you may not be in a state right now that you feel you can embrace it, but your spirit, your soul, your non-conscious mind has got it. It took it, and it's saying, please let this be your truth. And so if you want to think about it this way, if you're in one of those super dark places right now, I just want to speak to you for a few moments. Let me just say this. I can comprehend dark spaces more than you want to imagine. One of the things we didn't talk about is I'm a widower. I spent my life feeling unloved, completely unlovable. I felt intrinsically flawed, that there's something wrong with who I am at a deep level that makes everyone unable to love me, even those who are genetically obligated. Let's leave it at that. And that's not a comment about my family. That's a comment about me. I'm not putting that on anyone, but I felt that. And even though I was successful in the world, I was able to go from suicidally depressed and broke and virtually homeless to being the highest paid consultant of the world's most powerful banks and working with major, like all of this quote unquote worldly success. But inside, I felt just as unlovable as I always did. And I just thought people are nice to me when I have something for them. They're only nice to me when they want something. But nobody actually likes me. They just love what they get out of me. They love the experience of being near me, but they don't love me. It's not possible. That was my belief. Then when I was 45, I know I look 25. I understand that, but I actually am older than that. I'm 55. When I was 45, I met this magnificent, beautiful soul. Her name was Carol, and we fell madly in love. We got married a year and 2 months later. We had a beautiful roller coaster first year of marriage. Some of you understand what that's all about. And we were at a pinnacle of love and joy and peace. And I was cured. I now know I'm lovable, right? And then 1 year and 2 weeks after we were married, she died suddenly of a massive brain aneurysm. And I just want you to know that ended me. That ended me. I had nothing left for this planet. And too many people watching this, and you as a beautiful family, you can understand what that kind of trauma can do to the heart and the mind, the soul, and the life. And I was done. I had nothing left for this planet. People would try and talk to me, and I say, I've got nothing for no one. And I thought I was incurable. I didn't think there was a path back from that darkness. So if you're in a darkness, I want you to know that I have more love for you, more understanding than you can imagine, than you may be able to imagine. But let me say this about those darknesses. There's a story told about how they used to catch monkeys. I don't know if you've heard of this, but I was told it as a true story. I haven't been in the jungle catching monkeys, so I don't know. But I was told what they would do is tie a vine to a coconut, so it's on a string, long string, hide behind a tree somewhere. On one end, the other end of the coconut, they would cut a little hole, just small enough, but big enough so a monkey could force their hand through, and they would put monkey treats in there, whatever monkeys dig. I don't know what monkeys want. Potato chips, anyway, or chocolate. But they put something in there, and the monkey comes along and goes, ooh, I like this. Monkey squeezes their hand through the hole, grabs what they want. Then the monkey can't get their hand out because it's in a fist with the treats. Then all they have to do is ring them in. And they said monkeys never let go. And so the monkey wasn't trapped because it was being held by anything. The monkey was trapped by what it wouldn't let go of. If you're in a dark space right now, what is it that if you will let go of it, it will allow you to come back? It's like you're holding onto something like an anchor at the bottom of an ocean. And if you release it, your natural state will fly back up. You may have some bitterness, some anger, some resentment, some fear, some frustration. Who knows what it is? And it's not for me to judge. I'm not your mother or your therapist. I just want to be loving to you right now. And to say this weekend, you will be invited to let go of anything that's been holding you back. Let go of it and be free. And I understand the ego wants to hold on to it because it has an ownership position there. But you can be free of these things, and you can go back, as many of us have.
Well, I love that. That's just so powerful. Like even here, we're just talking about the event. Now you know what it's going to be like for 2 days. He can't help himself. He always ends up with all these amazing stories, and the way he explains things is just like, wow, that just like hit me. It's like, yep, I will let go of some more stuff.
Also, one of the biggest things that I learned from James was I was in a dark space then, and the one thing that resonated with me so much and still does to this day was that you said, you may have done certain things in your past that you're not proud of, or been in certain places that you're not okay with now or at that point. But the actions that you took in your past shouldn't affect your future, because at that point in time, you did the best possible reaction to an action or to an event that you could have done given your circumstances. Yeah.
And so I can see the difference between the James McNeil of 2020 and not judge him for the behaviors of the James McNeil of 1982. That guy was a goof. That guy didn't know better. That guy, whatever. But that guy is not this guy. This guy is an innocent man. And for me to continue to punish me for things I would never do now.
Yeah.
But back then I was surviving. It was what it was. And I'm allowed to be forgiven. I'm allowed to be free. I'm allowed to be happy again because the world needs the best of me. And that's the only way to come back. As a victim, I can't be a leader. For me to let go of this negative energy and say, for the sake of the world, I'm willing to come back. For the sake of the people I'm supposed to touch, I'll come back. Maybe I'm not willing to forgive me for me, but I'm willing to forgive me if that's what it takes for me to come back to life and help others. And so for whatever the motivation must be, it's okay for you to be okay again. It's okay for you to be forgiven. It's okay for you to come back to peace with who you are. And it's okay for you to be a leader, to be a successful person, and to touch this planet the way you've been called to touch.
Mm-hmm. And I love that the definition of leader is so varied, right? It can be at international level, global level. It can be at a personal level. It could be just to lead yourself. Yeah. And I think that that's really important because you never know, even if you lead only yourself, who are you going to affect when you are the better person compared to like when you meet someone? Yeah. Like, how can you react in a certain way that's going to be different because you've become a leader yourself than if you met that person in a totally different mindset in terms of how you're presenting yourself to the world. So that's really, really important to me because it has made such a difference in my life and helped me see that. Because I was very defined by like everyone said, this is what you need to be. And so that's partly my story and everyone knows that. And so once I started to be who I needed to be, all of a sudden I'm doing things and affecting people's lives that like, I'm really proud of those. I'm not like this is on my rep sheet, this is stories. But no, it's just like, I feel good that I touched someone's life in the other end of the world or next door.
I was just thinking, you said LinkedIn, so I was like, I am me, just own it.
Yeah, I don't even have any other explanation. But getting back to James, so we've kept you for almost 45 minutes. Thank you so much for your time. You usually charge like what, like $1 gazillion for even half an hour on a stage.
We don't want to even think about it.
Our students and our like community has just gotten such value out of this, and you get to come for free on the weekends. Holy smokes! Because we know James, so you get to come for free. And this is normally what? Well, it's
$1,000 for the live, the one that you came to. It's $997 US, and I'm glad that you're so good spirited about the fact that other people are able to get this for free. But this is a reaction to the needs of this world. People ask me, what can you do? So I decided I wanted to give away like $1 million gift. I wanted to give 1,000 tickets to this away. And 1,000 tickets at $1,000 is $1 million gift. And so I allotted them to the people who are in my inner circle, people who I trust, people who I love, and they're touched by the message and they want to pass it on. And so that's why you have a block of tickets that you can just give away. And I'm just thrilled that you've partnered with me to make this difference, because I believe if there's a good number of us there this weekend, and we are dropping the dead weight, and we are praying for the planet, and we get on the same page of saying we can heal the planet, we can heal the economy, we can heal physical healing, we can be a Wi-Fi of the love energy of the universe, and we can get over ourselves, and we can come together and be a part of something beautiful. Well, how big of an impact is that? So yeah, that's why we're doing it. We want to pass on. And so thank you, Elke and Jen, for helping me get this message out there.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of interested students who are going to come and join you for the weekend. And if we'll put the link in the chat afterwards to get the link so you can get the free tickets. And yeah, we just really hope you have an amazing weekend. I'm talking now to the students, and because I know James is going to be amazing no matter what anyway. But he's like, this last little bit of time that we've had together has like, it was just mesmerizing, wasn't it? Like, so I can't wait for the weekend worth
Yeah.
of stuff. We're just going to be, we've got it all blacked out. We're all ready to go. And we're just, nothing is going to distract us. And we're going to be there full time.
We do have some people who are watching who are probably not signed up yet. So do you want to give some information, not about the course content, but the timing and how they sign up, etc.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to give a link to the,
Yeah. So if you're watching this, you'll get your link from the Clarke team, from Elke, and so you're going to get your link. That's fine. Then what you're going to do is you're going to get a Zoom link from us. Once you're registered, you're going to have an opt-in. By the way, you have an option of jumping into what's called a VIP, which I'm giving away. Instead of $1,000, it's only $97. You get the workbook. You're working with me privately in the private Zoom. But either way, what's that, Elke? Sorry.
We highly recommend that.
Yeah, I do too. It's yes. And don't kid yourself. Some of you spend that on coffee every month, so you can do this. But in any event, either way, you're going to get your links. You're going to go into a Zoom meeting. Both groups are Zoom. And it starts at 10 a.m. Toronto time. And then it goes to 4 p.m. Toronto time. So it's just 6 hours with breaks, Saturday and Sunday. And then I'll let in a little secret. I haven't been telling the world this. But for those, if you're watching this, you're on the other side of the planet. Let's say you're in Singapore right now. We're replaying it from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. So that's a little secret. But those links will come out during the weekend.
That's awesome because we have a lot of students from that side of the world.
Someone who's watching who said greetings at the beginning of your chat. She's over in Asia. And
Yeah.
I'll be back soon. I can't wait to travel back over there. We plan on building a retreat center in Thailand. I just fell in love with Thailand. So many beautiful places all over the world. And wherever you are, I look forward to getting back into your city, and maybe we'll meet in person. But for this weekend, we'll do what we can online. And we have the two runnings of it. So again, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, Toronto time, and then 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Toronto time. And we have staff running both groups with us. So you're in good shape no matter what.
Just to clarify, the second round, is that a replay or live?
It's a replay. Yeah, I'm not teaching it twice.
I was going to say you're Superman, but so the first session, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is live with James. So if you're able to come, pop on that. And if not, then the replay will be available later.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. And then what? Or was that it?
Yeah, I would say just get yourself registered, and then all the information that you'll need is coming to you. You'll get the links. We've already started sending out the workbook, so you'll get a full color workbook. For those of you taking the VIP package, that's the people who are doing 97. The rest of you just make sure you're ready to take lots of notes and posters and so on for the VIP. So you're getting your links. As soon as you're registering, the information will start coming to you, and we have support teams taking care of you. Just get yourself into the game, and then you'll get all the information that you need.
Wonderful.
Did I hear something about a book? Or is
that's the workbook. When you sign up.
Like your other book. Is that part of it, or is that where does that come in?
Well, I had arranged it with the Facebook group, so it's a little wonky right now. I don't know if it's automatically coming out, but I will go ahead and guarantee this. We'll figure it out. If you register for the free weekend or the paid, either one, you are getting a copy of this. Now, this, I should also tell you, is only the first 5 chapters. This is my teaser copy. I'm then after next week. I don't know if I told you guys, I'm going away for a whole month to a tropical resort to hide and finish them. Right. So, but you'll get this one when you register for free or the 97 upgrade to the VIP. Either way, you're going to get a copy of this.
Also, a little thing that you forgot to mention. Holy smokes, that's already such a great thing to have, is that book. Or even if they get the text from the book, not a physical copy. Yeah, that's going to be awesome because it really helps.
That's awesome.
You're just always giving. And then that's the whole point. And that's the whole point of this weekend is what we teach as well, is that there is an abundance for everyone. And once people understand that, life just becomes so miraculously amazing. And there's miracles.
Amen. It's time for it.
Okay. Well, should we head off, or do you want to say anything else? Because we're still on, but you tell us when we
okay. Well, I'm going to wrap by hopefully speaking straight into the soul of everyone watching. So if you're watching this, I just want to say a few words, and I hope you'll be willing to receive this. You, my dear friend, in your personhood are perfect. You are a creative and compassionate spiritual being currently existing in this physical form. You are infinitely valuable. You are exquisitely unique, and you are perfect in your personhood. Your natural state is in euphoric connection to source energy, source love, God, if you will, and in loving connection to all living things. You're not just here to make it. You're here to make it better. You're on this planet for a reason in this season. You are here by design to touch the world in a way that only you can. I'm going to help you this weekend get plugged back in. This kettle cannot do its miraculous work until it's plugged in. It can be used for many things. You can use it as a weapon. You can use it as a pitcher for water. But until it's plugged in to source, it can't do the miraculous thing that it was designed to do. It can be busy. It can be appreciated. It can even be loved. But it can never be what it could be until it's plugged in. And it's the same with you. This weekend, you're going to learn to get plugged in and watch the miracles flow through you that have always been ready and waiting. It's like there's a backup right now. We're going to release the dam of blessings that are going to flow to you and through you this weekend.
Oh, I can't wait.
Amazing.
It can't be said better than that. Holy
Yeah.
smokes. Yeah. So thank you so much for being on with us and telling us more about the event. If you don't get a ticket, oh my gosh, that's like so bad. Now, is there a replay?
Of what?
Like even if they don't watch it during the
If they sign up
10
for-
a.m. to 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Like, is there another option for them at some point to?
Well, here's I can't say no because I don't know, but right now that's what we have on the roster.
Okay.
But
So we have
if
to
you were,
So let's do it.
yeah, so if you're here and you want this, grab it now. Grab as much as you can immediately. And if you're in our database by registering, if we do a replay, if we make anything available, you're going to be the only one who knows about it. So say yes to you right now, and you say yes to you, you get as much as you can out of this weekend, and then you're in the family to know more about whether there's a replay or anything else.
Yeah.
But do everything you can to take advantage of this because we're giving it away, and I don't think
It's normally a lot more money, and that's the thing. This is the free one. So this is a gift. It's not even free. It's a gift. And so that's the key is everyone always expects that, oh, I'll just sign up and then I'll watch the replay, and they never do. The whole idea is that you have to just like clear the calendar and make it a thing this weekend. We're all going to be there. Jen and I are going to be there. We're going to make sure that we get as many people on as possible because it changes everything. And why not start this weekend, right? This is the whole idea. If otherwise you're just going to keep delaying it, and then you'll never watch the replay. So and so don't assume that you're going to be able to watch it later. And if you can't make it, you can make it. You can make it. And then it's not happening anytime soon again. This is like the time to do it.
Yeah. Stand up for yourself and say, my life matters too. Right? You might be tempted to save the world this weekend, do this, do that, do other things for other people and all that. And I respect that. That's the right, vibe. But this is a very unique opportunity for you to unlock your perfect dream life. And because it's a perfect dream life, it's a life that's going to touch others. So prioritize yourself this weekend. Give yourself this weekend to unlock your perfect dream life. And I promise I'm going to do my part.
I know he always does. It's like he already helped us, like right here on this. We had like an extra extension. We had a bonus for our community, which is so nice. So thank you so much for being on with us, allowing us to ask you all these questions. And we highly recommend that everyone come and join us because we're going to be there and listening to James and starting to continue to expand our knowledge in what James has to teach and allowing ourselves to be more open to all the miracles that are coming our way.
I look forward to it. Thank you, my dear friends.
Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you on the weekend.
Love,
Bye.
joy, peace. Bye.